Hello, Sanju. It's nice to have you here in this interview. There are so many questions that I have for today. The first question is about your early life. I know that you started in India in the state of Kerala, and then you moved to Tamil Nadu, the neighboring state, to do your mechanical engineering. But immediately right after your graduation, you moved to Dubai for engineering jobs, some technical work, some marketing work, and you've been there for 10 years. Among those experiences that you had there, you were working with some multinational European companies, and you've been working as a technical and marketing expert. So tell the story from your side and maybe a little bit of introduction on your side.
Okay. Hi, David. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Okay, we're starting with my beginning of my career. Actually, I started from Kerala, and I started my mechanical engineering in Tamil Nadu. After that, once I finished graduation, I came to Dubai for my first work. That's how I got into my first work as a pipe design engineer. That's how I got interested with the design part. I worked there for some time there, concentrating on my work on the design part. Then after a year or so, I moved into a multinational company called Cademix. I worked there for around 5 years. I saw the business structure and well as the technical part where I was like a design technical engineer. That's how I got more into the AutoCAD where I was doing the CAD works. Then I got interested in the marketing side. So they asked me, why don't we look into the business part as well? So that got me interested, talking to new clients, meeting new people, and the side way which I was passionate about, the design side, which helped me both the sides, understanding the requirement of the client and making my design, which was the most interesting part for me. I was very privileged, to be honest, and to work in such an environment where I was being sent to different different OEMs, our production facility in Europe, in Switzerland, Germany, and I was fortunate to come to Austria as well to see this beautiful country, which was very different from what I was working in Dubai, where it is really hot, and now here it's a beautiful weather. I was very happy to see how the people work here, the manufacturing facilities around here, and different companies in Germany. That helped me to see the work culture, the work difference, how it works between different continents. Then I was promoted as a senior technical and marketing engineer. They gave me more responsibility. So I was bringing more revenue. They were implementing new business plans and bringing more revenues to the company, as well as doing the design part, which was really nice. That's how it struck me, the business side of me as well. So I like to be the more multidisciplinary work style, which I had. Within that 5 years, I started understanding, okay, we need to increase a little bit more the CAD design part, some more finite element method to see how my design is kind of working out. So that's how I got interested in that period. And I started working with other programs and started learning about it, started understanding some of the crash tests, what's going on, some of the thermal and vibration side of the FEM as well. It was a very interesting side in the mechanical engineering part for me. Then after that, I got moved on to a much better position in a new company. I was a business development manager. They gave me more senior position where my skills in AutoCAD and FEM also helped me there, and my business skills also helped me, which gave me a more broader perspective to work with the end clients in Dubai, mainly with the oil and gas and the general industrial parts companies, which gave me a very good understanding and opening in the market, and even connecting more with the people in Europe, because all our suppliers were from European companies. So it gave me a very nice picture, and I was even able to talk to different management level people in Europe, visiting regularly once in 2 or 3 months, seeing the difference of working here and working there. Eventually led me to find for a job seeker visa. I'm really happy to be here.
Right now you are on a job seeker visa, so I think the situation is a little bit different. What was your first impression when you traveled to Europe for the first time?
To be honest, it's like very refreshing, and I have to be honest there, because I was working in such an environment all the time. You work, and you come here. It's very welcoming, and I was very happy to see the way people work here, to see how things move here. It's very different. I can give you a small example and how we work in Dubai and how the work is here. There it is like you work hard, hard, so that your life, work life takes over your personal life. Here, what I saw is you work smart. You have a work and your life, your personal life balanced properly. You're happy. Nobody. That's what I see. Most of the people here are generally happy. It gave me it's a really pleasant cultural. I should say a pleasant surprise for me.
Sanju, you mentioned that you visited Swarovski plants during the early visits. Of course, the area is quite nice. The museum of the Swarovski is also one of the nice touristic areas in Austria that you visited. But of course, this is actually quite a nice business from the business point of view. You might always argue that whether this kind of business is unique, whether this is a matter of quality, whether this is a touristic attraction, or whether this is all of this stuff at the same time. Tell me about your first impression when you've been there in a Swarovski, and how did you find the plant there?
I have to say, I was really amazed by the craftsmanship of the work they do. It's really amazing. Even though I was going there as an engineer to see the work, I felt like a tourist. It's like way too much engineering stuff to understand in just 1 or 2 days. It was so nice to be invited in such a place. So it was very nice experience I had with the team there, with a couple of things. Okay, some of two designs we saw from the engineering perspective, and it's so lovely to understand how they work. The environment itself is it's really, you have to say, very simple for a very large company, and very inviting. The environment it is, and being in a very beautiful place, it's all add up all together. It's all a mix of a complete beautiful journey. I have to say, I got a souvenir to take back home as well after my visit, and I have to buy two of the stuff because I was so happy to see the design. It is worth buying and having a couple of their products. Yeah, but that's in a true experience. I have to say that the work they do is it's really unique. The standards they follow is it's really high standards, and the products, the raw materials they choose is as well coming from all from Europe. It's really, I was really amazed to see the products they come up with.
Sanju, you are right now on a highly skilled visa, a job seeker visa that is directly offered to you. Most of the people who are getting this kind of job seeker visa are usually getting that at the end of the study in Europe, but you directly offer to this kind of job seeker visa. Maybe you can tell a little bit details about the procedure to get the job seeker visa.
Okay. After getting around some experience in work, I decided I have to move to Austria. I love this place and I want to work. I know some of the culture. I know some of the working environment. So then I decided to see how it works for me. And then I got in touch with the embassy and checked what's my current status and how it will work. When I applied with my credentials of work experience and my studies, they told me I come under highly skilled worker according to the Austrian government, and I thought, okay, that's a good opportunity. That's a good thing to know. There's a point structure based on the experience, based on the work I do and the work requirement in this country. I received a very good point in the point calculation system, which allowed me. So the Austrian embassy in UAE, they provided me the job seeker visa within, I say, within a month. And they told me, yes, someone like you is required in this kind of a market. So that's how I received this job seeker visa.
Of course, I can confirm that the Austrian embassies, they were right, because you have lots of experience in different fields. So let's go to a few of your technical skills. Basically, you have a multidisciplinary skills in different areas, from engineering, from the management, from design, CAD software, finite element software, and of course, all of this stuff comes together when it comes to personal management, staff management, and all of this stuff. Can you give a little bit about the background that you have? Where did you get this information? Where did you get these skills? And tell a bit about the experience that you have, especially about the work that you have done with Cavotec, which is actually a multinational European company known in Dubai. Maybe you can just talk about your previous experience, especially over the last 10 years before moving to Europe.
All right. So once I got into Cavotec, that's when I understood the importance of having a multidisciplinary kind of a persona you need to have so that you can be successful in your life, in your career. So I learned that I had the design structure with me. So I wanted to get into different sectors as well. So that's how I got into the marketing side. That's how I learned from my peers how to work with the client, talk to the client, more understand the client requirement. And of course, as my passion, I was working with the design side as well, getting more deep into the CAD structure and side by side, and working with the business side, mostly generating revenue, implementing new business model, business structure. So I increased my sales side as well, getting more clients with me, understanding their requirement. And what happened during that period, then I understood, okay, now I know about CAD. Why not we move into the next level of, like you have a design, why not understanding how the design performs? That's the reason when I got into finite element method, understanding or want to learn how things work when you design a particular product. That's how I got into this particular field, and then testing some vibration, thermal, and crash test. This particularly helped me to understand the product. That gave me different perspective. Some of the client requirements were there. Sometimes it was not there. Sometimes I used to do for passion. During these 5 years, when I met a good thing when I met different clients in Europe and my OEMs, I used to speak to them in Germany, especially, and some part in France and Italy as well. So that helped me out to understand the product from a different perspective. From a Middle East, there was one perspective. Then I got to a different perspective from the European companies as well. That's how when I understood how different what you said disciplinary can help me. Then I got into a new company, which was a UK-based company there, where I was a business development manager. Where my skills with business development, they wanted to take it forward. I had a team with design people. I was even able to talk to them, understand their perspective of design. We used to discuss this together, the design. Then I was dealing directly with the business development side, with the higher management, which gave me, I would say, a senior role, understanding having a team of two people. With ourselves, we used to discuss. We had plans of how to take business forward, and supports in the design side as well, and the logistics sales side as well. This is a good background I have in my 10 years of work experience in the Middle East.
This is, of course, quite important. All of the individual topics that you were talking about, because especially during the hard time that we have at the moment in Europe, many companies, like small companies or even middle-sized companies, they require a person who can do multiple tasks and jobs. So most of the companies, they cannot afford to have one person, for example, for the CAD design, a second person for finite element design, and another person for doing the management, the staff management, communication, or marketing. So the advantage of you in this system is that you can replace the work that is done typically by 4 to 5 persons. So this is actually an added value to every company, specifically for those middle-sized companies who don't have that many. Even in a large company, this is quite important, because a large company, they need different people in different departments, but what is usually missing is the communication between different departments. So usually at the interface between different departments, they need a person who has experience of 2 to 3 fields. So this person is like a middle node talking with multiple people. So usually this kind of person, just like you, can immediately move to a kind of managerial position. You're a kind of person that you can do a good and nice agreement between multiple departments. And this will be quite an added value to every small or large company.